Good morning, YouTube. It is January 10th, 2024, 9:13 a.m. Central Standard Time. A decent amount to talk about. Kind of a boring slate of games, but one of the games was absolutely insane. Of course, I'm talking about the Raptors and the Lakers game and just the post-game fallout from it, the horrible officiating. We'll get into all of it. If you are watching this over on YouTube, you can check these out live every morning, 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Playback.tv/slightlybiased. If you're watching this on playback.tv/slightlybiased, you can check out the VODs of this stream over on the Slightly Biased Clips channel. Make sure you guys subscribe, man. I think we're already at like 500 subs or something like that on the Slightly Biased Clips channel. Let's get to 1,000. I want to start monetizing these and making money. You understand? I'm not in this for the love of the game, okay? I'm not in this for your enjoyment or entertainment. I'm in this to make money. Do you understand? And so far, I'm making zero. All right, let's get into it. Raptors and Lakers. An incredible finish of this game. A lot of back and forth, some great shot making down the stretch. Reeves hit some big shots. AD was dominant in this game. Of course, Jakob Poeltl came out earlier in the day that Jakob Poeltl would miss a couple of weeks. And so the Raptors threw in Thaddeus Young into their starting five. Yes, Thaddeus Young into their starting five. And, of course, the discussion before the game was that, oh, my God, Anthony Davis is going to eat. And yeah, Anthony Davis did go off. He had a great game in this one, 41 points. I think more importantly, 13 of 14 from the free throw line. It was important because he shot a million fucking free throws down the stretch of this game. Granted, a good amount of them were intentional fouls. I want to point that out because anytime free throw discrepancy gets brought up in the fourth quarter, it is important to note that, okay, how many of those were intentional fouls though? The Raptors went into the foul game with like a minute left. So the Lakers did shoot 23 free throws. 23 free throws in the fourth quarter of this game compared to 2 for the Raptors. So, but again, how many of those were intentional? A decent amount. You always have to think about that when you're factoring in free throws into the equation. But after watching this game as a general fan, genuinely didn't care who won or lost. Darko, who went off, the Raptors head coach, Darko Rajokovic, who went off after the game, had every single right. Had every single right to be upset and angry at how the officiating of this game went. And it boils down to the same problem I think most fans have with officiating. It's not that, oh, this call was made or that call was made. It's that there's just inconsistencies on both ends of the floor. If you're going to call ticky-tack shit, right? If you're going to give Austin Reeves this fucking horrendously soft foul call on this end, cool. That needs to be called on the other end. Great. Like, it's going to be a terrible product. We're going to be shooting free throws every time down the floor, but that's got to get called on the other end. If you're going to let Scotty Barnes run into the paint, get swarmed, fouled at least 4 times, going up for a dunk, hey, live right now, Darko's incredible postgame presser, Mavericks horrible loss, and now players are mad. More Siakam rumors getting here. Who is this man? This is exactly what we're doing. I want to see if there's a clip of the Scotty Barnes one. But no, they had a good point that Scotty Barnes is relentlessly attacking the paint all game. How on earth is he not benefiting from the same calls, the same free throws? Because he plays a physical brand of basketball. You know, he plays a physical brand of basketball as well. How's he not going to the free throw line a million times? The flagrant on Emmanuel Quickley. I saw quite a bit of people worked up about that. I got to be honest with you. I think that was a flagrant. I think they're going to call that a flagrant more often than not. I mean, it is what it is. It sucks. It's unfortunate. It wasn't intentional that he elbowed Cam Reddish in the face, but they are going to call that a flagrant. I actually don't mind this being called. You know, it's whenever you do you do a dribble pickup and your elbows swing out that high, you're going to hit people in the face. You know, when you're swinging your elbows that high, you're going to hit people in the face, and they're going to call that a foul, and then they're going to call that a flagrant a lot of the times. So I don't really have a problem with this one. This one, I actually don't really see much of a problem with. The moving screen call, I thought was atrocious. I really do. I don't think that's how the game was officiated all night. And I just think that's a call that really, I mean, just, if I'm Adam Silver, I'm sitting the officials down and I'm saying, hey guys, we can't make this call at this stage in the game. We just can't. That is such a weak call in this moment. That is such a weak call. A three that would have tied the game with 24 seconds left. Waved off because Anthony Davis is flopping like a fucking fish out of water. Why are we calling that? Absolutely no world in which that should be called ever. I'm trying to find the clip of Scotty Barnes dunking at the end. I mean, the game was kind of over. The Raptors were playing a free throw game, but this was it right here. Scotty bullying his way to the hoop. There's like 7 fouls on this play. There is like 7 fouls. Oh yeah, here it is. Thanks, B-Dot. I mean, there was like 14 fouls on that play. This is just what's annoying, man. If you're going to give the Lakers every single call on the other end, you have to be consistent. You can't let two teams play two different brands of basketball. You can't let one team be incredibly physical defensively and then call ticky-tack fouls on the other end. You just can't do it. Yeah, that was a terrible video. B-Dot, thank you. You're fired. Nice 1 second clip. Nice 1 second clip. But either way, the point still stands. I did think the officiating was bad in this game. I'd be very upset if I were Raptors fans. Raptors fans were upset. Their coach was upset. He's blasting the NBA in the postgame presser. I mean, just incredible stuff. I don't know if I can play it out loud. Because I don't know how the audio is. Like, can you guys hear that audio pretty well? I mean, yeah, he did. He's gonna get fined heavily for this, but I think it's warranted. They had to win tonight. If that's the case, just let us know so we don't show up for the game. Just give them the win.
Force and trying to get to the rim without flopping and not trying to get foul calls. He gets 2 free throws for the whole game. How's that possible? How are you gonna explain that to me? They had to win tonight. If that's the case, just let us know.
He called Scotty Barnes all-star in this league. He might be in a future face of this league. And I saw people on Twitter like, what the fuck is he talking about? Dude, come on. He's a coach of the team. Like, is Scotty Barnes a future face of the league? I mean, no, but...
So we don't show up for the game. Just give them a win. But that was not fair tonight. And this is not happening first time for us. Scotty Barnes is going to be all-star. He's going to be the face of this league. And what's happening over here during whole season, I've been holding it back. It's a complete crap.
Coach, do you feel like you're getting any explanations at
It's a complete crap, guys.
all? That offensive foul, did you see, like, get any explanation?
No, there is no explanation. They just come up there, they review and they see what they want to see. They don't want to hear us, what we got to say. They don't want to hear the players. They don't just want to protect us. Over the game, they got 36 free throws, 23 free throws in the fourth quarter. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? How are we supposed to play?
Incredible. Incredible. Yeah, I saw Evan Turner's horrible tweet. Is Evan Turner all right? And, like, what I mean whenever I ask that, is he, like, okay? You get what I'm saying? I've known pretty much nothing about Evan Turner. Is he okay? Up here? Is he all right? Here's what Evan Turner commented on Instagram. You got to let your assistant coaches do the rant when you have accent. Why is this in quotes? Did he say that? Did Darko say that or something? You have accent. Jesus. Chill out, bro. Chill out. But a nice game, a nice win for the Lakers. I think that was the Raptors' first loss since the trade, wasn't it? Okay, no, they lost to the Kings as well. But anyways, a nice win for. That's right. That Kings game was crazy. They lost. A nice win by the Lakers. AD went off. He played well. Reeves hit some big shots down the stretch of the game. Didn't really shoot well, but hit some big shots down the stretch. So, a much needed win for this team. Did they get the help from the officials? Oh, yeah. Big time. Big time they got some help from officiating. But hey, man, a win's a win. You got to take them. It is what it is. But just an incredible press conference from Darko. Incredible. That's what you love to see. Go out, stand up for your players. You're going to get fined anyways. Might as well get your money's worth. Everyone agrees with you. The worst one is when coaches come out and complain about the officials and people who watch the game are like, I don't know. It wasn't that bad. Like, those are the embarrassing ones where it's like, oh, I don't think officiating was that bad tonight. I think you're just searching for anyone to blame but yourselves. But no, he had a real gripe last night, I thought, at least. Yeah, the Curry-Jokic one was weird. To be fair, though, in that game, it was bad. But yes, it was very strange for Kerr to make Jokic the poster child of... To make Jokic the poster child of flopping and bad calls. So, anyways, a fun game, though. The only fun game of the night across the NBA. Siakam hit some big shots down the stretch. Schroeder hit a crazy bank three at the end. That made it, like, somewhat interesting. Siakam hit it. It was a 4-point game. It wasn't like it was a 4-point game. Siakam hit a three the last second of the game to make it a 1-point game. But either way, Lakers get a much-needed win. Knicks, undefeated since the trade. They look really good right now. Beat up on the Blazers. I mean, not much to say about this one, really. The Mavericks play the Knicks next. Toughie. I don't feel good about that game at all. I don't really see much of a pathway for the Mavericks to win that one, to be brutally honest with you. Especially, I'm saying that thinking Lively's going to miss the game again because they're just going to get killed. They're going to get killed on the glass. It's going to be a travesty. Timberwolves beat up on the Magic. I mean, this was a slaughtering. The Timberwolves are up by like 30 at points in this game. Largest lead, 34. So, even though Mitchell Robinson, Isaiah Hartenstein's been incredible. Cat had a nice game. There was a funny clip in this game where Cat posterized Mo Wagner, and the entire Timberwolves bench walked out onto the court pointing at Mo Wagner like a AAU clip or something, like a Hoops mixtape clip. Yeah, it's funny that everyone across the league seems to hate Mo Wagner. Pretty hilarious. But a nice bounce-back win for the Timberwolves against a good Magic team who just got routed at home. The Magic need to get healthy. They're dealing with a trillion different injuries. So, tough one. Tough one for the Magic. Yeah, Mo Wagner is a tyrant. He is a tyrant. He gets under people's skins. I mean, he does it. He knows what he does. It's not like it's unwarranted. The Kings beat the Pistons. The Pistons had a 20-point lead early in this game. The Kings just went off the remainder of this game. Sabonis, 37-point triple-double. He's really good, man. He might be a top 6 player in the league. And then the Grizzlies and the Mavericks. Let's just fly through this, and we can have a fun day on Fanspo. How about that? Let's just fly through this dog shit game and we can have a fun game on a fun rest of the stream on Fanspo. Top 6, they hate him. No, Sabonis actually might be top 5 now that I'm thinking about it a little bit more. Just a horrible performance from the Mavericks, top to bottom. I mentioned this on the stream at the end. I mentioned this on Locked On Mavs. They need to weed these games out of their system. I mean, it comes down to that. And I saw Kyrie said something very similar. I didn't even see that until this morning. Kyrie said something very similar in his post-game presser that basically if this team wants to be a serious team, that they can't have nights like that. And that's true. It's true. Let me see if I can find it. It was Landon Thomas, I think, who tweeted it. Here it is. When you're aspiring to be at the top of the league and be respected as one of the best teams in the league, nights like this matter. 100%. 100%. He's 1,000% correct. And I don't know what it is, man. These type of games have followed this team now. These games have followed this team now for years. They have followed this team. Really since the Luka era. I think people, if you were too young to remember, or maybe it was just too long ago, you really got to appreciate what Dirk did. I mean, you really got to appreciate that year in, year out, even though the supporting cast were sometimes a little bit wonky, and even if there was maybe a little bit of turmoil going on behind the scenes, the Mavericks just fucking won. They just won games. You really never had to worry about them in the regular season. They were going to win games. 11 consecutive seasons of 50 wins. They were going to win games. They showed up. They took care of business. Of course they have losses. Of course they have losses, like inexcusable losses. Every team's going to have those every now and then, but now it feels like, my God, we got to worry about this team in the regular season. We got to worry about this team making the fucking play-ins or even missing the play-ins and missing the playoffs. That should not be the case. Year 6 of Luka Doncic. It just shouldn't. We should be having fun. We should be having fun. And these problems have been around throughout roster changes and roster overhauls. These problems have existed throughout coaching changes. These problems have existed throughout front office shakeups. There is a cultural problem currently with this team where they, for whatever reason, feel like they can just sleepwalk through games. And that's an acceptable thing to do. It hasn't clicked yet with this organization. I'm saying organization and not team because it feels like a full fucking organizational thing. It hasn't clicked yet that, hey, you know what? We need to show up for every game. Hey, you know what? I know it sucks. I know it's January 9th and, we're tired and we're playing the Grizzlies without Ja and Jaren Jackson. We'll just kind of show up. No. You respect your opponents, you show up, and you play the fucking game. And don't give us this shit, well, we're not that good. Yeah, you are. Full stop. Yes, you are. You are good enough to not do this. And I don't know what the problem is because, like I said, this problem has persisted throughout roster changes, throughout coaching changes, throughout front office shakeups. Something has to change fundamentally. If you want to be considered a great team, like Kyrie said, if you want to be respected as one of the best teams in the league, if you want to take that step, weed these fucking games out. Get them out of your system. Figure out what it is that leads to this. Because this is inexcusable. You lose to the Grizzlies, that's one thing. Can we just talk about going 2-2 against the Grizzlies without Ja Morant is pathetic. You didn't play Ja Morant a single time this season against a Grizzlies team that's going to be at the very bottom of the league when it's all said and done, more than likely. And you went 2-2. That's sad. That can't happen. Not hating, genuine question. How much of that do you think the blame is on Luka? Like last night, Irving was playing like he wanted it. I know Luka is banged up, but he was slow last night. Yeah, I think Luka is part of the problem. Full stop. Not hating to say it. Anybody with eyeballs can see that there are games where Luka just clearly is going through the motions or his energy is lacking. And I don't know if that's the problem. I don't know if he's the problem. Yes, Luka, he'd agree with us. Yeah, Luka has said it a million times in post-game pressers. It's like, okay, but then can we not have these games? And if Luka's injured, and I've said this a trillion times, I say this during the World Cup, and then people got mad at me because they said, well, you wouldn't say this when the Mavericks. No. I say this during Mavericks season all the time as well. It's not just, oh, I don't want Luka playing for Slovenia. No. I say this during the regular season as well. If Luka's hurt to the point where he's having a hard time getting up the floor, and he's moving way too slowly on defense, and he's having to settle for bad shots because he just doesn't have the legs to drive, then he should not be playing. Okay? He shouldn't be playing in the game. Not just because it's affecting you on the floor and legitimately hurting you in serious ways, but he's the future of your franchise. If you think there's an injury problem, figure it out. I mean, I wish I had the possession clips. Luka, dealing with the knee problem, goes to the locker room, comes back. It's a turnover. The Mavericks are running a transition. Luka has the ball. He's pushing the ball in transition. Guys, it looks like he is a 50-year-old man. He looks like he is 50 years old. He looks like he's in pain, which he was. He can't get up the court. It was like insane. He's running a transition. Everybody's back by the time he gets there. He immediately gets taken out of the game because anybody with eyes could see that something's not right. Yeah, I mean, if you're superstar, future face of your franchise, the entire future of your franchise is having to go to the locker room twice, is having to go to the locker room 2 times in a game because he's dealing with leg injuries, just rest his ass. Sit him. I don't understand it either because when Luka's like that and injured, I mean, he still does good things, but it's like he does actively hurt the team at times. I don't understand it. It's just frustrating, man. It's just frustrating. This team shouldn't be having games like this still. Like, they just shouldn't. Again, you lose to the Grizzlies, that's a completely different story. But not showing up, the energy being terrible, the getting out hustled, getting out physical. Dude, you out talent them. There's not a ton of rosters. I mean, the top end talent, you out talent a lot of people. But there's not a lot of rosters around the league, especially with XM out, especially with Lively out, that you're just going to flat out talent. This Grizzlies team was one of them. The only way they can beat you is by out-hustling you, being more physical than you, and you just let them do that. You just rolled over. You rolled over and just let them do it. That just can't happen, man. They got to weed this shit out. Get this shit out of your system. Figure out what it is. Have hard, honest conversations with people. Have hard, honest conversations with everybody in the organization. Figure out what the fuck it is that makes you come out every 4th or 5th game and just not take a team seriously at all and get rolled over. And address it. Fix it. Like, come on, man. You're not good enough. You're not good enough to just lose games like this. You're going to be in the thick of the playoff race. You're fighting tooth and nail to stay out of the play-in tournament. We're going to look back on 3 of these last 4 losses for the Mavericks. Cavs, without their best 3 players, you blow a 20-point lead. You lose by the Jazz by 40. You lose to the Jazz by 40 points. You lose to a shorthanded Grizzlies team by 20 points. Those are 3 games you're going to look back on in late March, early April, and be like, fuck. We really fucked up. I don't know. We'll see. I still actually think this is a good team. Truth be told, I think there's a run in there. I do, and last night doesn't change that. I don't like how we just give up on the team after one game. You know, it was a frustrating game for sure. It was 100% a frustrating game, and fans have every right to be upset. I was upset. Fans should be upset about games like last night. The organization should be upset about games like last night. Like fuck the fans, right? Being too dramatic, overreacting. No. The organization needs to overreact to losses like these. They need to weed this shit out. This team has the same record to this point in the season as they did last year. That kept getting brought up yesterday, and fans like, oh, we're fucked, dude. Anyone with eyeballs can see this team is much different than this team a year ago. Okay, this team a year ago was at that record. They went on a 7-game winning streak, a fluke-ass winning streak against terrible teams, where Luka had to drop 50 points every single game just for them to barely win. This is clearly a much different team. Plus the fact that we've used 20 plus different starting lineups, continuity will help a lot. And here's the thing too. At a certain point, man, you got to let these guys play together and develop together, learn each other's tendencies. We can't be calling for a trade after every single game. Trade this player, trade that player, trade this player, trade that player. This player had a bad game, trade him. Get him the fuck off the team. Trade this guy, trade that guy. Why wasn't Kid asked about the 4-guard lineup he had on the floor? I mean, he did, didn't he? Didn't he say something about how they tried to go small and it didn't work? I mean, I've said this before too, and here's one thing we have to realize as fans, is that people inside the organization have a much more long-term approach to things than fans do. We live and die by each game. Like, that's just how we are. That's how every fan base is. You know, we get excited about the games. We get home from work. Our day sucked, whatever. It's like, oh, man, the Mavericks are on. I'm going to watch the Mavs, chill out, watch the Mavs, have a beer or something. And it sucks when they lose because that's what you look forward to. But coaching staff's gonna be like, let me see what the small ball lineup looks like tonight. If we lose, so what? I just want to see what they look like together. So, anyways, just unfortunate. I still think this team's got a run in them, 1,000%. Something's got to click, though. Something's got to click. I was really hoping that Timberwolves game would click it. Like, I was really hoping that would be okay, here we go. We figured out how we can win games. We have figured out that just this relentless effort defensively, because we don't have great defensive personnel. But you know what? When we fly around the floor and when we're engaged and locked in, we're a formidable defense. We've shown that. We have to do it every game. It sucks. It's tiring. It's taxing. But you have to do it every game. You can't get out physical. You're at a size disadvantage already. You can't get out physical. You can't let the other team out hustle you. You have to win the hustle battle. You're going to be smaller than most teams. You have to win the hustle battle. You can't get out hustled. You can't get outsized, out physical, and out hustled. That can't happen. And it sucks like just weeding it down to that. Obviously, more goes into it than that. It sucks just weeding it down to, oh, you didn't want it. The other team wanted it more. But honest to God, that's exactly what the fuck happened. And now you have Rashawn Holmes. He's upset. And whatever, honestly. This is, I believe, Rashawn Holmes' brother. Correct me if I'm wrong. Spirit of Dumb. This is his mother, I believe. Rashawn Holmes himself liked the tweet. I don't know where it is. I get a little bit worried scrolling through Twitter because I don't know what the fuck's gonna pop up. Yeah, okay. Got it. I mean, do I need to say it? Did you guys watch the game last night? Rashawn Holmes got out there. Can anyone with a straight face tell me the minutes that Rashawn Holmes played was good? He barely plays. There's a reason for that. Guys, Manny's 100% right. I need you guys to understand the front office didn't seek out Rashawn Holmes. They didn't want Rashawn Holmes. They didn't make a trade thinking we have to go get Rashawn Holmes. He's our next guy. He's gonna fill in for us. Rashawn Holmes was the tax to get Omax. And I don't know if somebody with the Mavericks told him differently. I know that Cuban hyped him up in the offseason. Listen, I don't give a fuck about that. There's gonna be coach speak with every player. There's coach speak for every player. The Sacramento Kings straight up did not play him at all last season, a year after paying him. And then attached a first-round pick just to get off his contract. The Mavericks didn't give up a first to get Rashawn Holmes. Okay? They got a first. Rashawn Holmes is not. I don't even feel like doing this because it doesn't sound right. Rashawn Holmes doesn't play. The team clearly doesn't think he's a part of the solution. And I'm gonna be real. I agree with them. I don't think he is either. So I don't even really feel like entertaining it because it just comes off as mean. Is a guy who's upset about his playing time. I don't mind that. I mean, you're an NBA player. Right? They want to play, obviously. The family members of Rashawn Holmes are upset. Okay, fine. I mean, I feel like that's going to happen for pretty much any player who doesn't play. Family members think they should play more. I don't have a problem with that either. Every time he played well, Kid either DMP'd him or played him less minutes. He's not worse than Powell. He is worse than Powell. He is worse than Dwight Powell. Have you guys watched? I know you guys hate Dwight. I know you do. I know there's something just deep down. You hate his guts. Fine. I mean, should the Mavericks upgrade from Dwight Powell? Yes. Yes. Should Dwight Powell be the backup center of the future? No, he should not be. Dwight Powell should be getting either DNPs or absolute spot minutes. I agree with you. Dwight Powell has actually played pretty well lately, believe it or not. He does things for them that the Mavericks want their centers to do. He is mobile. He can move around. He can move around defensively. Does he get killed against straight line drives when he has to contest? Yes. He's not going to put up much of a fight. Are bigger guys going to box him out? Yes. But he can move around offensively. He's smart. He's a good decision maker. He is. He knows where to be. He has good synergy with Luka. Him being in foul trouble actually legitimately hurt the Mavericks last night. I don't hate Powell as a person. We all act like he's the best big we ever had. Who acts like that? No one acts like that. No one. Like these who are the Dwight Powell defenders? Is there anyone who thinks Dwight Powell should be our consistent backup big? No one thinks that. I get called a Dwight Powell defender. I would love to replace him with a legit backup center. But he's fine, though. He was fine last night. Rashawn Holmes is not better than Dwight Powell at all. At all. He's just not. And look, yeah, I know Rashawn Holmes has had some good minutes in the games he's played. He's played in the games that make sense for him to play in. The Lakers is a good matchup for Rashawn Holmes. They're a big, lumbering team. That don't have a lot of like very mobile bigs. So he makes sense. He does make sense in that matchup. And he's played well in those matchups. Kudos to him. I don't know. DP is a system of how bad this team has been. I mean, all right. Either way, Rashawn Holmes is not the answer. I'm just telling you that right now. I don't know. He's not the answer. And like people comparing Christian Wood to Rashawn Holmes. Christian Wood is better than Rashawn Holmes. Okay. Should he have gotten more minutes last night, Rashawn Holmes? Sure. I don't even like doing. Have you noticed I have just avoided the Rashawn Holmes things? Because what am I going to say? I'm going to say exactly what I just said. I don't think he's good. I don't like saying that. Powell's been fine these past couple games, but that's fool's gold. We know he's not going to last long. He's not even playable in the playoffs. I mean, yeah, the hope is that he doesn't have to last this long. Like, he is the backup center. And he's done good. Like, I don't know why can't we just say when Dwight Powell does good? Why do we have to step in and be like, yeah, he's played good, but that's actually bad for the team because it's fool's gold. And now we're going to now it's going to trick the team into thinking he should play more. Mavs are so thirsty for just a different player. They want Rashawn Holmes minutes. Like, it's going to change the game. I'm just curious as to what Rashawn Holmes people have seen. I just am. I'm curious. I have to be honest with you. I'm curious as to what people have seen. And he doesn't fit with what the Mavs want to do. This is why like the JaVale McGee signing really doesn't make sense in hindsight. Because he also doesn't do what the Mavs want centers to do. I mean, I would love for Rashawn Holmes to be good and come in and help the team out. Don't get me wrong. Like, I would love for that to be the case. I personally don't think it is. The team clearly doesn't think that's the case. I've heard people say if you're a backup center behind Powell, you're a Mavs fan's favorite player for a lifetime. Yes, that was me who said that, I believe. I don't know. I mean, sure, maybe last night he could have gotten some run. He did get some run, and he didn't look good in 3 minutes. That Lakers game, Houston game, when the Stars were trash, and Jazz game where he played well that we've seen. I would like him to play with Luke Highmore. Again, the Lakers is a fine matchup for Rashawn Holmes because they have big lumbering bigs who don't fly around the court. They're like one of the only teams in the league who can say that. And that Houston game, is that the one you're talking about where nobody on the Mavs played? That game goes into the trash can for me. Either way, I mean, I don't know. I personally don't think he's the answer. Again, the team clearly doesn't think he's the answer either. And it's not like the team thought he was the answer ever. I don't know what they told him after the trade. That's a different story entirely. If they told him that, hey, you're going to be doing X, Y, and Z for us, all right, then that is on the front office, and that is fucked up. If the coaching staff told him, hey, you're going to be getting 15 to 16 minutes a night for us, okay, that's fucked up. The family is pissed. Listen, I don't have much of a problem with that. I'm not going to make fun of his family or say anything bad about his family. I mean, they want their guy to play more. I don't think there's a problem with that. Truthfully, I don't think there's much of a problem with that. You think we should focus on a solid backup center before getting a solid power forward instead? I would rather have a solid power forward because I don't even want to say what I'm about to say out loud. I don't even want to say what I want to say out loud. I'd rather have a legit solid power forward because he can plug into the starting rotation immediately. Whereas, backup center, the Mavericks desperately need. But if it's one or the other, I would rather have Dwight Powell play backup center for me and have a legit starting four than still be plugging together the forward spot, one of your forward spots, and having a backup center. Does that make sense? Can somebody ask? Wait, hold on a second. Can somebody ask what the fuck is going on with Maxey? This is actually getting insane. Can somebody actually ask what is going on with Maxey Kleber? Because he would actually kind of help a little bit, just to be a body. Anyways. I'm happy we got to vent a little bit. I still feel pretty good about this team. Truth be told, I do. Maybe it's wishful thinking. I don't know. But hey. I still think this team can do legit things. They just got to put it together. It's up to them. It's up to them. They got to get healthy, obviously, but they can't have games like last night. You got to weed those games out. I think Grant was hurt last night. There was moments in the game where he was noticeably limping up and down the floor. So Grant has not been good. He needs to be better. There was the report coming out after the game that people said that he was out of shape, which is interesting. Obviously, not what you want to hear at all. But yeah, I think he's still dealing with an ankle injury. Do we want to give him a pass? That's up for you to decide. All right, should we look at some trades real quick on Fanspo? Do we look up some trades on Fanspo? Wow. Already I'm shocked. I don't know if we want to do this. I don't know if we want to do Fanspo today. No, this guy's trolling. No, this guy's actually trolling. Derek Lively, Markieff Morris, and 2 firsts for Nick Claxton. No, you're a troll. All right, Cray's got one. Let us see. Okay. I want to look a little bit into Chuma Okeke. He hasn't been good at all, but could there be some untapped potential there? I personally liked what Nico has gotten us with Derek Jones Jr. and XM. I just hate how Grant is not playing to expectations. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Jeremy Grant needs to be, or Jeremy Grant, Jesus. Grant needs to be better, for sure. PJ Washington, Wendell Carter Jr., and Chuma Okeke. The Magic gets him in a first. Hornets get Rashawn Holmes, Hardy in a second. Feel like the Hornets would want more. But if you're getting PJ Washington, Wendell Carter Jr., and Okeke, and all you're giving up is one first, Tim and Hardy, really, of consequence. I mean, that makes sense for the Mavs. But I don't think the Hornets say yes to this. Unless they like really regret paying PJ Washington. Magic get Tim Hardaway, Nets get Fultz in 2 seconds, Mavs get Dorian. I mean, hell yeah. Mavs pass too much for Dodo? No fucking way. I mean, hell yeah. Do this in a heartbeat. Can't wait for April, May 10-hour playoff streams after the Mavs losing the play-in. Dallas will trade Tim Hardaway Jr. I promise you. I promise you. All right, Craig. Cook it with a 4-teamer. Clay Capella, PJ Washington, and a pick swap. Hawks get Siakam, Tim, and Markieff. All right. It's a big haul. It's a big haul for the Hawks. They give up DeAndre Hunter, DeJounte Murray. Okay. Again, I don't think the Hornets are getting enough for PJ Washington. Unless they love Jaden Hardy. Interesting return, though, for Siakam. Hunter, DeJounte, 1 first and a swap. I do think the Raptors would maybe do that. I don't know if the Hornets do it, though. For the Mavs, you're giving up a pick swap and Hardy, Tim, a couple seconds, getting Clint. Clint's an interesting one. Like, would he be cool coming off the bench? That would be my question. Not bad. All right, I want to see some creative ones. Nas Reed. Rashawn Holmes in 2 seconds. Deal. Nice doing business with you. Hey, good doing business with you, guy. Good doing business with you. Bogdan. I don't know if I've ever seen Bogdan to the Mavericks. Mavs are giving what is this trade right here? What the fuck am I even looking at? Wow. Okay, a lot going on, but I can already tell you from the Mavericks side of things. Get off the Maxey contract, get off their Holmes contract, but I'm giving up a first for Bogdan. I mean, how does that fit what I need at all? How does that fit whatever I need at all? Magic gets him, Maxey, and Jaden Hardy. Mavs get Wendell, Gary Harris in a second. There's just no way. Like, Wendell Carter Jr. is on one of the better contracts in the league still, regardless. There's just no way that they give up on him. That's just still how I feel. Dodo, Clint, Jonathan Isaac. Been a while since we've seen that one. Marketing. Okay. Marketing, Dorian Finney-Smith, and Day'Ron Sharpe. Is Day'Ron Sharpe, what's his injury like? John Collins. What the fuck is this trade? Can you block people on this? Just don't want to see their trades pop up again. Hell yo. For Josh Green and Markeith. I do like Kelly Olynyk. That feels like a lot. Blocking people on fans, that was crazy. I don't know, man. Am I a sucker for the Josh Green stuff? Kuminga and Looney. All right, so these trades right here make no fucking sense to me at all. I've seen people suggest this. That, oh, well, if the Warriors get Siakam, maybe the Mavericks can get Kuminga. Why would the Raptors not want Kuminga? Raptors get 4 Canadians? Oh my God. Is that what this guy's doing? You're 100% right. Is that what this guy's doing? That's actually hilarious. Hold on, I actually respect it. I respect. Okay, Team Canada. All right, I respect it. I respect that guy's got cooking. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doubting you. Jesus. All right, let's just get off the Mavs one and let's just see any like interesting ones. Let's go trending. No, let's go top last 24 hours. Toronto and Dallas, Siakam. All right, so hold on. There actually is a Siakam. I don't understand how all of these trade talks are happening out in the public. That usually means something to me. And that something means that something's fishy's afoot. As in, I don't think this shit's going to happen. Mike Scotto. I had heard that Sacramento talks for Siakam center primarily around Harrison Barnes, Kevin Huerter, Davion Mitchell, and a first pick or so of potential draft pick compensation of a first-round variety for Siakam in those talks. Look, the Mavericks can beat that. This is where the Siakam stuff starts to get weird to me because I don't think he's going to get traded, and I don't think the Mavericks would trade for him. But if Siakam said, yeah, I'd sign in Dallas next to Luka and Kyrie, I'd sign there. The Mavericks can for sure beat that. Right off the bat, Tim Hardaway Jr. is better than any player listed here. Harrison Barnes is washed. Kevin Huerter has been fucking atrocious this season. Josh Green or Jaden Hardy is a young guy. I think I've probably shown you more than Davion Mitchell. Davion Mitchell is a donut offensively, and as a 6-foot guard, that's not going to cut it. Like, I don't really see a world where Davion Mitchell turns into a good enough offensive player. Unfortunately, I liked him a lot, but it's like, all right, where is it? And then whatever contracts, and then a pick. I think the Mavericks can make that happen. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I think there's a little bit more. It's a little bit hotter than I thought. The block in regards to Siakam maybe going to the Mavericks. The block is hotter than I expected it to be. You know, there's some cop cars patrolling. They're circling. Mavs, Wiz, Wolves. Timberwolves are getting a pick swap. Gallinari and Tyus Jones. That's very interesting. That would actually be really nice for them. The Mavericks are getting Kyle Kuzma, Kyle Anderson. I'm interested. Shake Milton, all right, little backup guard option. And Mike Muscala. Wizards get Tim Hardaway Jr. All right, maybe they could flip him. Rashawn Holmes and Maxey just eating those contracts. Wendell Moore, Hardy. Oh, Wow, that's horrible. Why do the Wizards do this? Hardy's the perfect guy to add next to a guy like Bilal. Minnesota passes. Really? You would think Minnesota passes here? I actually think that makes a lot of sense for Minnesota. I think if you give up a pick swap for, yeah, you'd have to like have an agreement with Tyus Jones, but that actually makes a ton of sense for them. Because yeah, they need a backup guard regardless, but also when Mike Conley rides off into the sunset, one of my favorite players of all time, rides off into the sunset, you have a very, very, very solid and capable replacement in Tyus Jones. That's the Wizards. Yeah, the Mavericks would need to tack on more here. You're getting Kyle Kuzma, Kyle Anderson. The only thing you're giving up is Jaden Hardy, Maxi Kleber, Rashawn Holmes, and Tim Hardaway Jr. I mean, fuck yeah. Absolutely. Trade idea. Brogdon to the Knicks. www.com. Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney. Tim, Maxey, Hardy, and a first. For Wiggs and Looney. Yeah, wait a second. What? The Warriors get Siakam, and the only thing they have to give up is Moody, who barely plays for them, Wiggins, who looks washed and has 4 years left, and Looney, who also looks washed? Yeah, wait. Why am I not getting Siakam in this trade? For sure. That's what I'm saying for the Mavs. Wait a second. I should be getting Pascal. Excellent 3-team trade where the Lakers save their season and Brooklyn gets better. Anytime you hear Lakers save their season, I guarantee you the other teams don't get better. More often than not. Nets get D'Angelo Russell and Rui. Why on earth are the Nets giving up a pick in this scenario? We'll have to wait and see. Oh, they're getting off the Ben Simmons contract. Okay. Lakers get Jeremy Grant, Brogdon, and Lonnie Walker's back on the Lakers. They give up Gabe Vincent, Jalen Hood-Schifino in 2 seconds, and a first. Yeah, I feel like Portland gets fucked here. Wait, so I'm just taking on all your both your shit contracts. Ben Simmons, Gabe Vincent. Is he still in the NBA? I mean, what the hell happened to him? 2 firsts. I'm giving up Jeremy Grant, Brogdon. I feel like Portland would want more. It's kind of interesting, though. It's a little interesting. What is this one? Chris Paul to the Raptors? Astonishing 4-team deal. Astonishing. All right, the Warriors get Chris Boucher, TJ McConnell, and Otto Porter Jr. This is the last. Oh, Twitter notification. Sources. Netflix is creating a new NBA documentary series modeled after its NFL quarterback show. The 5 players chosen for the first season project: LeBron James, Jason Tatum, Jimmy Butler, Anthony Edwards, and Domantas Sabonis. I can't fucking escape this guy. That's actually interesting, though. All right, there's just too much going on here for my liking. I don't feel like reading all of this. All right, a bunch of picks. Kind of interesting, I guess. All right, we'll just wrap it up here. A little disappointed in the Fanspo trades today. You can only do Fanspo so many times. There's only so many Siakam trades you can look at. You know, there's only so many of them.